Hi everybody and welcome. We are here in day 4 of our yoga challenge for Yoga Month. I'm Dr. Suzie Carmack and I'm very grateful that you're here with me to practice. In this short and sweet chair-based practice, we're going to be moving the upper body and also opening up the shoulders and arms. So what that means is that I want you to be extra careful with yourself to listen to your body as we do in yoga, and also make sure that you're feeling secure and stable with the chair. The chair needs to be on a stable and stationary surface like you see mine with the chair on the mat. And we also want to make sure if our hands are sweaty or the surface of the chair is slick that you're just being super careful, okay? So with that safety tip in mind, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start facing the chair, standing nice and tall, zipping our abdominals in. And we're going to take a little flow as we inhale our arms upward and exhale our hands to the sides, taking our hands to the chair. So coming back to the lunge we learned on day 2, we can step back down into a gentle downward facing dog. We're basically doing a modified salutation here. Inhaling as we come forward, shoulders over wrists, and exhale as we step forward on the chair. Let's rotate to the side and open up our side body, and then bring our back leg in. Let's come off the chair and come back to standing. So see if you can follow me with that flow on the opposite side. Let's think about the meaning that happens on the opposite side. Let's greet the day like you'd welcome a big friend with a big hug. Exhaling as we release and surrender to what is. Taking a step back to think about where we'd like to place ourselves today and where we would like to set our intention for the day. And then relaxing as we allow that intention to flow through us. Showing up fully for that intention as we step forward with our left foot and wringing out the distractions that may be in the way of that intention. Bringing our hand forward and both of our legs next to each other for chair pose. Let's exhale as we feel our core strength coming into that intention. Standing cat, and also open our heart center to the intention coming into us. Shifting off of the chair with a neutral spine, we'll press through the heels and come back to center. So now we're going to add a little upper body movement to the flow. Please again, be careful as I mentioned earlier. Inhaling as we greet the day, exhaling as we swan dive to the chair. Stepping back with our right foot, hanging on carefully as we step back to a downward facing dog with bent knees. Inhaling as we reach forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale as we zip our elbows close to the waist, feeling strength and length throughout our spine. Inhaling as we lengthen the arms upward, and exhale back to downward dog. Gently stepping forward with the right foot, we'll take our right hand to the side for our twisting lunge and reach our arm all the way around as we step our back foot in. Chair pose on the inhale, standing cat on the exhale. Standing cow on the inhale, chair pose on the exhale. Coming up to center. So if you notice, we're moving a little more swiftly today. We're also moving on the breath. This is helping us to get that oxygen going throughout the body. But if you ever feel lightheaded because we're moving too fast, you can always take a centering moment for yourself in our mountain pose. If we're feeling okay, let's try the same thing on the opposite side. Inhaling as we open up the chest, just a little bit of a back bend there. Exhaling as we swan dive down. Taking a step back with our left foot now, feeling strong and long, and stepping back to a gentle and careful downward facing dog. Inhaling as we find ourselves in plank pose, shoulders over wrists, not sagging the hips or coming up too high, but really feeling the diagonal from our ears to our heels. Exhaling as we slowly lower to a modified chaturanga. Inhaling to lengthen the arms. Exhaling as we step the left foot forward and then finding our twist to the side. Feel the stretch as you reach the arm around and through. Exhaling, standing cat. Knees softly bent. Inhaling, standing cow. Heart open to your intention. Standing in a neutral spine on the heels, chair pose. Pressing through the heels and lifting up and exhaling in. How did that go for you? Take a few breaths, pat yourself on the back, and let's think about finding the flow on the breath. I'll be using less words, and I invite you to flow through with the practice with me and to almost string the poses together like you would words in a sentence or even in a song. Let's go ahead and continue feeling the heart center open by simply finding ourselves behind the chair. So I'm going to move the chair carefully here and walk to the other side. Now, depending on your height relative to the chair, this may or may not work for you. You might want to hold a ball instead, but just going to find my fingertips placed on the chair, not pulling on it, not pressing on it, just as something to help me to feel the chest widen, keeping the abdominals firm, and trying not to let the shoulders creep up by the ears. So lots going on there. And there's an old expression in the yoga practice that it takes strength to be open. So feel the strength of your upper back, pulling together in that midpoint right between the shoulder blades. Everything is coming into that. And the abdominals are firm. So we're not pushing into the low back to look at the ceiling so much as we are opening our wingspan at the heart center. Consider what you'd like to open your heart up to today. As we come into finishing this practice and finding ourselves nice and tall, let's see how we do with bringing the foot up just a little bit. Just notice how the whole body wants to shift over. So feel that internal strength like a tree, hence the name of the pose. And let's take the foot up to where it makes sense for you. Maybe it's at the calf. Maybe it's all the way up at the inner thigh or all the way to the bottom of the torso. In my body, this is where I like to be, so I'm going to keep it here, but you go wherever you like. All I ask is that you keep the trunk of the tree nice and steady on this side and don't allow it to sway too much. As we feel the internal strength of the pose rising, we may be able to take the hand off the chair. And then we can explore the branches wherever they may take us, and feel the bending of the wind coming back to it. So not taking our tree too seriously or ourselves too seriously. As you find whatever gesture or dynamic shape you'd like to make today, remember that part of our practice is connecting into our expression, what's coming from our heart center. Let's change to the opposite side. I'm going to move the chair so that, notice I'm not swinging the chair around. I'm being careful in how I move the chair. We can be so careful in our practice, but then mindless when we move our furniture, and that might be a not good moment safety-wise. So let's keep taking care of ourselves there. Let's see how we do, supported by the floor and the chair first. Knowing that this version of the pose is no less and no more than going in different directions. Because it's all you. It's all coming from your heart, your body, and your mind. Was there a time that I could take the foot all the way up and look as solid as a statue? Absolutely. But with age comes wisdom, and also comes a difference in our balance. Not less, not more. Let's take a few breaths here, connecting into your intention for the day. How will you stand strong in your intention and yet allow the winds of change to take you where they might go? How can you be true to you? That to me is what Anahata, or the heart center, is all about. Finding the joy of what's true for you on the inside, not judging that against what was true for you yesterday or was true for someone else. Keep expressing your heart and finding the freedom there. Thank you for enjoying this practice. I hope you enjoyed it with me today. And I invite you to keep coming back to this practice celebrating Yoga Month. I'm Dr. Suzie Carmack, and it's been an honor to be with you. Namaste.